Hello, greetings, my friends. This is Gilles. I'm coming back to discuss a few ideas. I wanted to discuss philosophy a little bit today, and we have a big question: are you more Epicurean or more Stoic? There is this sorts school of thoughts. For I'm both. I think on some level I'm very Epicurean, but on the essential I am more Stoic. For for it is a school of thoughts that was in the 3rd century BC, just as a background for those most people know. But for Epicure was a philosopher that was mostly Aristotelian. He was like when the Stoics, the beginning of that school was like Zénon de Cityon. Was more Platonician. The big difference between the two is one belief, Epicure believed that maybe God existed, but he will never interfere in human life. When the Stoic believed in providence, in the miracle, in the possibility that life is miraculous and the gods at the time, or God can intervene in humans' life. For me, I am very much more Platonician. I'm more Stoic in that sense that I believe in divine intervention. I believe that God does countless things for me every day and for everybody else, although nobody knows. So it is for I'm much more Stoic than Platonician on that level, Stoic than Epicurean on that level. Yet Epicure was a very a wonderful philosopher as well. He believed that in order to live happy, you have to be hidden. He lived in his garden, and he practiced moderation. He used to drink. He didn't eat that much, only once a week, but he used to drink a lot of wine. And he knew that if he drinks too much wine, he's going to have headaches in the morning. So it's about balancing out, not to be going to excess. And he placed friendship at the center of the most important value in human experience. So it's like Epicure. He was a very influential philosopher. He wrote 300 books during his lifetime, different books, but he must have had very powerful enemies because they all got destroyed. None of them survived. We only know him by 3 letters he wrote to friends, his philosophy. When the Stoic was essentially Plato was the base root of Stoicism. I'm more Platonician than Aristotelian myself. I believe in a round world, in a mystical world, rather than a flat world with materialism. I'm more spiritual than material in my philosophy. So the base of was Zénon de Cityon was the leader of that movement, but the person who really put down the basis of Stoicism was Epictet, the Manual of Epictet. It's a very short book. I recommend you read it. And then what is called in English? What would be called the Thoughts for Myself of Marcus Aurelius. He was an emperor, a Roman emperor, very humble, and he talks to his inner guides. There's a discussion between the inner guides, and very powerful. Seneca as well. Seneca is very powerful Stoic, very useful philosophy. Well, Nietzsche was kind of Stoic as well, but he was more a philologue, like studying the philosophy of other philosophers rather than bringing a personal philosophy into anything new into the picture. But being Stoic means being able to work on, to be able to accept life for what it is, to work on those things that are very that are within our power, and to allow to trust that there are certain things that are outside of our power. There is no need to worry about it. For Epictet was saying, but he was a slave that was freed, and so. He was very popular at this time, around the time of Jules Caesar. So was Seneca or Plutarch, those were Stoic. Was that health and wealth didn't depend on you, good fortune, bad fortune. Those things are completely part of fate. When there are so many things that you can do within yourself to improve your character, for instance, or the good charitable deeds, or all those things, that is part of what is. So there was a big question for me. It's like, for I realized in this society we're far more Epicurean than Stoic. People do not believe in miracles. They do not believe in the possibility of magic and miracles. It's like they're very anchored into this third dimension. But you know, there's 2 different timelines that are unfolding. The higher timeline and the lower timeline will continue to unfold. The past is the judgment. I will let you interpret it intuitively. The present is encountering. And the future is hesitation. For we do not want to hesitate too long, and then there will come hope. The mission will be unfolding, and we'll be able to consolate ourselves. What we're working on now is the protection. We are protecting certain a vision. We are also being protected, and the future will be forgiveness. Forgiveness. I've been through a big test yesterday. It was like my spirit intuitively led me into the situation to let me believe something, and so I got really involved into it. It was a very happy, a very, and then it became a big jam. It became like, and sometimes I wonder. It's not the material aspect of the problem. It's more like, why was I guided by my intuition into this jam? Is it because spirit needs to see how I will get out of it, to remain calm, to become master of emotion, regardless of the situation? There's still mystery in the ins and outs of things. So it's what we seek also is to find silence and peace. It's very important. That's where the power lies, to find this inner temple and outer temple, so with the intention to unify with to have a mystical union with the great void, the infinite, the glorious light, with all that is. It's really to become like yoga means harmony, to calm down and to move into the silence. For every day we come away from home, and then but to use 3 breaths to go inside of the center of your heart, to return home all the time, to work from there, to know that you're gonna expand, but you have this power to return home at any given time. And for when we're truly opening to love, when we're opening to true love, we are becoming the Christ consciousness. And this is really what is wanted, that every human has this potential to tune into love and become this, to rise above the situation rather than to be on the right side or the left side, to be on the right side, to be on the side of the good. No, you want to rise above things. That is the only way to keep the balance, but that is the higher way, let's say. But we want to let go, and this equinox will allow us to let go of it all, and the truth only remains. Once you let go of everything, the truth remains. So you cannot lose that truth. You can let go of everything, and the truth will remain, the truth of who you are, the truth of your soul, the truth of God. And we need to move our energy. A lot of people are blocked on the solar plexus, to move this energy to the third eye, to start from the third dimension, third chakra, third dimension, to the sixth dimension, the sixth chakra. For all is working together for the highest good of all. Life has a higher purpose, a higher sense, higher meanings, but it's not always obvious when we pass through them. So it is something we need to accept. For the highest wisdom is a deep knowledge. What we need to understand is the exchange of gift, to continue to give and to receive, to be able to love and to be loved, to accept that, and to be able to communicate. What we need to do is between worlds. We don't have, accept that one don't have, we're not fully in the total clarity of things. There is still some hidden aspect of what is going on. We're still not face to face with our soul, to be totally in, we still have a subconscious, unconscious thoughts, unconscious energy, so we have to trust the process, and the outcome will be the thinker, to be able to elevate our thoughts, always elevating our thoughts above the clouds. Well, thank you for coming to listen, for sharing, for subscribing, for liking, for your donations. It's very kind. And so I'm going to sing a song to finish. We'll see, there's a lot of brand new energies I felt today. It's like this freedom is coming. I'm not really sure, honestly, but I know it is coming. I won't even be able to talk much about it when it comes. It's just new. We'll have to integrate it. For there's a lot of integration that is going on, and before we can move forward with what is coming. It's a song I've already sang before, but it was very present with me this morning. It's very strange because it's about a song about someone who's very happy in a relationship, and I'm single right now, so it's like maybe a sign that something is coming. I don't know. It goes like this. La 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 la. La 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 la. The man in me will do nearly any task, and as for compensation, there's a little he would ask. Take a woman like you to get through to the man in me. La 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 la. La 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 la. Storm clouds are raging all around my door. I think to myself, I might not take it anymore. Take a woman like your kind to find the man in me. But oh, what a wonderful feeling just to know that you are near. Set my heart a-reeling from my toes up to my ears. The man in me will hide some time to keep from being seen, but that's just because he doesn't want to turn into some machine. Took a woman like you to get through to the man in me. La 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 la. La 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 la. It's strange, this song really imposed itself in my mind today. Maybe a silent, I don't know. Like, oh, stay open to love, huh? Always stay open to love, elevate yourself, find the silence, the peace. And today is a new angle. The Archangel Samuel. There is a better way of going about this. The time of reflection. Dare to be different. So it's very much about the great shift that is coming with the equinox. A lot of letting go is happening. And then the doors to the world will be opening. I thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful day and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.